If you had a difficult time reading price today, this video is for you. So I'm going to break down exactly how I read price using the 15-minute chart and the 1-minute chart to find scalping entries. So what we look at here on the 15-minute is this was on Monday during MLK holiday. So there's not a lot of volume. So I anchored it from, so I used the previous day's VWAP and I anchored that from Friday's open. And we can just see this is just making higher lows on the bottom. It's just in a short-term uptrend. So I go into the day not even looking for a short bias. The only way I would have taken a short today is if we broke under this VWAP, retested this level of structure, and then fell off. I would have been looking for a short there. That was my game plan going into the morning. If that didn't happen, I knew I was long biased. So when we look at the 1-minute chart, these candles, these are selling candles with 10, 15 point candles in a minute. That is like super inducing to the shorts. Anybody who's looking to scalp momentum is absolutely looking to take advantage of those candles, especially when we have both midnight price below us and the gap fill. That's on, if we go to Edgeful, we can measure by size. So the midnight price, there was a 64% chance that we were going to touch that today. And there was only a 36% chance of the gap being filled. So we could see midnight prices here, never touched it, got pretty close, but didn't get there. And the gap fill was below. So how I was reading this is a no-go. We make a new high of day. And in the same 15-minute candle, we make a new low of day. That to me tells me we are going to get some chop. So I now totally avoided the market in as soon as we make a high of day and a low of day in literally 5 minutes. That was a no-go for me. But looking at a momentum scalper, the first trade idea would be to take this low of day VWAP and either take the low of day VWAP break there or get the price at the New York, something like that. And you would want to stop at the high of day with your targets at midnight. Now, you're shooting for 20 points. If you get, 18 points in 2 minutes, I hope you're taking that and just saying, hey, that was an easy 2-minute trade and I just made a bunch of money. Now, now, as soon as the initial balance is set, let's take a look at it with a low of day VWAP, because anybody who's selling in here, they're looking for that same trade because technically this midnight price is still in play. So where people are still looking for the midnight price because that's a 65% chance. So you might have seen a trade like this or this trade. Now, this isn't a bad trade. This is a in-trend trade. But when you look at the 15-minute chart, you were trying to sell these wicks. Like, if that makes sense, this entry here is selling into this wick. Where when you look at it from the 15-minute chart, you would never sell that. This looks extremely bullish. We try and sell down and we recover it immediately. That is like this to me, these two candles were extremely bullish. If I was trading on the 15-minute chart, I might have even bought on this candle with a stop under there. Now just to talk you through my thought process. This low of day VWAP is set. I'm not taking this break. I'm actually thinking, we're bullish. I could be buying off the rejection of the low of day VWAP. Now, this might be a setup I take in the future, but right now, that's not one of my high quality setups. If anything, from a technical perspective on the 1-minute chart, taking this short would have been my setup. So I'm thinking, I'm not totally sure if the market has one more leg lower or if it just wants to kind of consolidate and find its new range, especially considering the initial balance has not been taken out. And this is a huge stat. If we go to the initial balance breakout in the last 5 years standard, we break it about 84% of the time. We break it on just one side. it's, yeah. I don't know which one it is on there, but either way, like you could see, just on average, it's 70% we're breaking it one side. So that's really quality. Now, going back to the IB, what I'm now thinking about, once we get to like this level, once we're here, now I'm thinking you just got to be patient and wait for the right entry once we break the initial balance. Now, I use the high of day VWAP. So we broke initial balance. I put the high of day VWAP on, and you can see that's my entry. I take it on the break. Now you might ask, why didn't I take this break? This was a premature break. I like seeing some foundation. This is 4 minutes of waiting. This is 30 minutes of waiting. That's the difference, because I did think about taking this trade and having it marked up right here. But now you're going to get stopped out and have to get right back in. And if you do have this entry, this is a huge stop, 11 points, and you don't even know where you might just have to take on drawdown for a while, and that's not how I like to play. So I waited, and I got in right here as soon as we broke the high of day VWAP, and I'm just looking for that continuation outside of the IB. And now to use the performance, if we do go, we see it's about 0.2% on average in this last year. And then if we go back to the standard, now you can see it's still only 68%. That's weird. I wonder where I saw that was 85. But we can see we get about a 0.2 extension. What that means is from the initial balance, on average, we extend 0.2% from the initial balance. So I put my TP just under that because I like to be in and out of my trades quicker. I don't want to sit through all that. And if there is going to be more extension, I can always get in with a new entry. So this was the entry that I took. And you could see closed it at 1R, or actually it was 2R. It was a 2R trade. Bought here, sold there on the live account, and then also on Top Step. Basically, I hope you guys can understand this from this video. Using the higher time frames, we are bullish. So I'm naturally coming into the session looking for longs. Now, reading the price action, making a new high and a new low in 5 minutes, that's a no trade for me. We're still finding our legs. What's going to happen? I don't know. I certainly don't want to take any predictions on it. Now, we make our low. We sweep whatever longs were here. Looks like we swept this pin, this 60.45 level. So any stops there got swept. You would have had to have the stop at 60.35 to still be in those longs if you're trading on a higher time frame. And then I'm just waiting. I'm not taking the buys off the bottom because this still could have another leg down. And then at this point, when we're in the range, I'm waiting for the initial balance so I can find a high probability trade. And you can see we just continue to drift higher. You could have caught one more leg up on a high of day VWAP break into MOC. And yeah, that's my breakdown for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and give me any feedback you have about what kind of videos that you want me to be making.